This is Ian Miller,
What's going on, guys? It's Andrew.
and welcome back to another exciting episode of Media Talk with Miller and Smith. Tonight, we actually had two big topics to talk about. We did see the first season of Daredevil Born Again.
Mm-hmm.
We were really excited about talking about that, which actually is a good segue to the second topic because we just came from New York Comic Con at 2025, man, and they had a lot of announcements.
Yeah, they did.
So it blew our minds, so it's gonna blow your minds. In case you guys didn't get a chance to go to the Comic Con, we're gonna tell you what we saw.
Let's get into it.
Yeah. So, Daredevil Born Again Season 1. Obviously, the series really picks up where the Netflix series ended pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
Some things are the same, some things have changed. But the main opening minutes of episode 1 were quite startling.
Yeah. No, definitely, 100%.
Yeah, for those of you who hadn't seen the first season, where have you been? I mean, it's been out for
Really,
about a year now. Come
Al-
on, man.
almost a year.
Seriously. Yeah.
um,
Uh, yeah.
yeah. I mean, the show is crazy from beginning to end. Um, what do you think? We should just give spoilers, or?
Okay. This segment's gonna call it, gonna have some spoilers. So, if you haven't seen Daredevil Born Again season 1, please stop watching the episode and come back to it later. I'll give you 5 seconds. Okay, time's up. Okay, so the opening few minutes had the unsuspected death of one of the three characters, Foggy Nelson,
Yeah.
and it was done by none other than Bullseye,
Yep.
Poindexter.
And this was confirmed at New York Comic Con, so this is a spoiler. Well, I guess it was confirmed months ago, but they just confirmed it now at Comic Con during one of their panels that Foggy will return in season 2. Don't know how. He's dead.
Now,
He's dead.
now
But
in the comics, Foggy what did fake his death, at one point in the comics, and did come back to reveal that he was alive. Now, I don't know what's going to happen here in season 2. Maybe it could be flashback scenes because he looked like he was pretty much dead, at the opening of episode 1. So I don't
yeah,
know what's going on. Maybe they revived him, to a hospital, but they got him out of the city because of what happens during the course of season 1. Because Foggy found something out, which is directly, connected to the Fisks.
mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep,
that wonderful, lovable couple of Wilson and Vanessa.
yep.
Yeah, the crazy psychopaths. She's just as crazy as he is.
Well, yeah. While he was away, she took over his business.
Now, when we say away, we mean getting surgery done because of what
Yes,
happened with
yes,
Echo.
yes.
Yeah, you guys remember Hawkeye? Yeah, in case you didn't go watch it, because you'll see, in Daredevil Born Again why Fisk has this scar. In case you didn't see Hawkeye,
Mm-hmm.
Echo shoots him. Somehow he miraculously survives.
Yeah.
It's surgery and has been gone for quite a while. And Vanessa did something, that made Fisk very mad.
Yeah. You could say
She
that again.
went to she went to bed with someone else. She had an affair.
Yeah.
And because of who Fisk is, he doesn't take it very well.
No. Well, by him taking it very well, Fisk tells Vanessa that he's done nothing to him. He's perfectly fine. And then in later episodes, we see he kidnapped him and beat him.
a number of times.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was quite startling. But again, it's very Fisk. But that's just a subplot. The main plot, what happened in the season, was this: Wilson Fisk becomes the mayor of New York. Yeah, the worst possible person to become the mayor of New York. And what does he do? He forms an anti-vigilante group of NYPD officers, corrupt NYPD officers, to go after costume vigilantes. Now, our lawyer Matt Murdock, because of what's happened to Foggy, had not donned the Daredevil costume for quite a while, almost a year,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and he's now to a firm that he just set up with another lawyer. Karen is no longer in the picture. She moved to San Francisco at the time,
Mm-hmm.
just to try to get past
Keep
the
keep her
loss.
distance. Keep her distance. Pretty much.
Yeah. Unfortunately, circumstances put Matt into a position where he needs to come back as Daredevil. We don't go too much into that. But what's interesting was he had a meeting with Fisk early on to
Mm-hmm.
just to keep each other in check. So if either one of them stepped out of bounds, they
Mm-hmm.
come back to each other. Now, Matt really tried to keep that promise. Again,
But
circumstances being what
yeah.
they were. But if we remember correctly, Fisk actually was the one who actually went over the line first.
Yeah.
Matt just kind of picked up, and that was mostly because Vanessa wanted her power back because she
Mm-hmm.
set up a organization while Fisk was away.
Yeah.
So she wanted her power back. So yeah, that didn't sit well with Fisk either. So at the end of the day, at some point they had to figure out, how they could navigate their marriage, but also navigate their partnership in this organization. Now that he's legit as a mayor.
Yeah. Um. Kind of find out. Well, stop me if I'm getting too ahead of myself. You know, he finds out down the line. He turns up information that he finds out that um Vanessa hired Bullseye to kill Foggy.
Yeah, because Foggy found out something that was connected to Vanessa
Mm-hmm.
to a case that was not, directly connected to her, but indirectly.
Right.
Apparently, he found out information about a certain section of the city, that is a free state,
Mm-hmm.
which means it's not legally bound to New York State
Yeah.
or the country for that matter. So, meaning the Fisks had turned this particular property into a criminal enterprise. Gambling, racketeering, the works. That's why Foggy had to be killed, just to protect that, because he
Mhm.
found the original legal document.
Well, I believe it was called um, I believe it was called Red Hook. If I'm
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
Red Hook, Red
it was
Hook.
called
Yeah,
Red Hook.
yeah. So eventually, Matt comes out of retirement or self exile,
Hmm.
don the costume, which by the way looked pretty badass, especially with the fight sequences.
Yeah.
And we get to see another player that we hadn't seen a while, Frank Castle, the Punisher. And I gotta tell you, his fight sequences are much more violent than his Netflix series. In fact, Daredevil Born Against itself is much more violent
Hmm.
than the Netflix series.
Yeah.
But the Punisher fight sequences are really intense.
Yeah, I mean from my point of view, I think Frank has gotten a little more what's the word I'm looking for? Angrier, I should say.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
I,
we have to remember this is a very angry character,
yeah.
because yeah, this horrible thing happened to him,
Mm-hmm.
He lost his family,
Mm-hmm.
his wife and his two kids, and you know, it drives him, to a point where he just doesn't believe the system anymore. He doesn't believe in anything
Right.
except for just pure vengeance. He's trying to, right the wrongs, but this is a violent man. You know, this is really an anti-hero
Mm-hmm.
because he kills, the bad guys. So I don't think for him it's not a calling; it's his mission to punish,
Yeah.
the guilty in any way necessary. But yeah, it's definitely much more violent, especially that scene at the end of the first season episode or the season finale in Matt's apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just see his rage. And Matt's trying to say, stop, stop,
Stop him.
stop.
Yeah, stop him from killing a lot of people, or
Yeah,
at least that guy. But
yeah. What's interesting though was they decided to blow up Matt's apartment. Now that's actually in the comic book story Born Again
mm-hmm.
by Frank Miller, because they do blow up Matt's apartment and he's homeless. So that actually stays true to that part of the story. Everything else is obviously different.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it gives hint at what's going to be up in season two, especially with Matt gathering up honest cops to build an army. I don't go up against Kingpin and his wife and take back Red Hook.
Yeah. I mean, he's got a challenge to face, but um, the good news is Matt has now help, more help that he's bringing in now.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
As now Jessica Jones is coming back for season 2.
yeah. Now that was a great reveal right there. Now we only got a glimpse of it in the clip on the trailer that they did show. They didn't show too much,
Yeah,
but
she
we do
does have
get the hint.
a new look.
Yeah, we do get the hint that she's definitely going to help out
Mm-hmm.
in some way because this is still her city too,
Yeah,
and she's probably not happy with Kingpin being mayor.
would you be?
No, the guy's a homicidal maniac, and he needs to be stopped. So I don't know how that's going to fit in with that. And we do get also clips of Matt Murdock being missing. This is on the posters. So again, he's probably presumed dead to the world because his apartment building was exploded.
Yeah,
And they always make up the cover story that someone just tried to kill Matt Murdock because he screwed up in whatever case that I was involved in, anything like that.
yeah,
But yeah, there's an anti-vigilante force out there, and they're hunting down the costume heroes. What's interesting was in season one that they mentioned a a character that swings through the cities. They couldn't say Spider-Man because technically he's still, part of the Sony company. And I'm like, come on, just say it. Just say it. You got to say it in, Doctor Strange, too. Why can't you say it here?
technically, Daredevil is now in the MCU, right?
Yeah, they have to mention it. They have to mention it.
They have to mention it. You can't just say, "Oh, you have a swinging, guy in a mask or a guy in a suit swinging across the town, across New York."
Yeah, it makes no sense. It makes no sense. It really makes no sense. And it mind boggles me that we can't get that. And we really want a Spider-Man Daredevil team up movie
Yeah,
at the very least, just to go up against Kingpin. I mean, come on,
seriously.
we can really write these movies. Ugh. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, so that is season one of Daredevil. We did see a little bit of season two in the clips, as we said.
Mm-hmm.
We were thoroughly impressed with the footage, and Charlie Cox and my God, guys are fantastic. It's like
she's
no time had passed.
yeah. I mean,
She's one
she's
of these.
just
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, you can tell she's happy to be back with Charlie Cox and to be back with the show. I mean, she even said she
yeah,
loves that character.
yeah. I love the character too. I thought Jessica Jones was one of the best series ever written,
Yeah.
and she was phenomenal in it. And I really hope that does bring a comeback. There have been discussions about it. I can
Hmm.
say that. So I
Yeah.
hope that does come back. Right now they're looking at a March 2026 release of season two. So check out for check out on that. Obviously, we're gonna see the trailer, the full trailer, probably December.
Now, I just want to say for any of you who's watching this, and if you guys went to Comic Con this weekend and you went to the Marvel panel and you saw Charlie Cox and Kristen Ritter there, and you saw the Daredevil trailer, give us a word of what you thought.
Yeah, one
I mean,
word,
one
one
word.
word.
If it was any one of you watching this and you went to that panel, um, just let us know what you thought of it, because I know it wasn't. It's not. It was only released in that panel, but don't know when it's going to be released worldwide. But let us know what you thought of it.
Yeah. Okay, this leads into our next segment. New York Comic Con. My God, I love this convention. I love it a lot. Been going there, for a number of years. Obviously, uh, Smith and Feller, our other guests here and here sometimes. We go there quite frequently every year.
Mm-hmm.
And this year didn't disappoint us, because not only was Marvel back, in the panels, but DC was back. They were
Mm-hmm.
showing off some of their stuff.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're promoting the Lego Batman video game, which looks spectacular, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it felt bigger than it had been in a couple of years.
Yeah, I kind of felt that way too. I mean, they had, like you said, they had the DC booth, which is new,
Yeah,
um, and I don't know. I mean, every year they just think of some way to make it bigger. Um, but every year we always enjoy it.
yeah,
Um, so I'm expecting next year, which is going to be their 20 years of having Comic Con here in New York. I'm hoping that they're actually going to pull out bigger and all the stops next year. But
yeah. Paramount made a big, appearance at Comic Con there as well because we actually managed to go into the NCIS panel with
mhm,
Tony and Ziva, and
mhm.
we actually had the lead actors there, and they're phenomenal. They're funny. They
they're they're really funny.
The chemistry is just off the charts, and we did get to see something in there. Um, well, for those of you who've probably been in that panel, you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Yeah. What did you think of that when they showed that?
um, I was expecting something. I wasn't expecting that whole thing. I was
Yeah,
expecting just like a little short thing, but I mean, I'm glad either way that they showed it.
yeah,
Um, and when they actually came out, Michael Weatherly and Corey De Pablo, um, they have such they have such great chemistry together.
yeah,
Especially when they were both on NCIS on the regular show. Um, they've had great chemistry since they started. Um, just going back to it, they've actually been well, not on screen, but they've worked together for at least 20 years, you know, 15 years.
yeah,
Um, but I mean, just just watching them all these years on NCIS and then Tony and Siva, um, they get along. They have great chemistry. They just do everything great together. And, I really enjoyed being in the panel with them and just saw how they were together and how funny they are.
yeah. Um, They clearly wanted to do the show for a very long time because they felt their stories were, need to be continued because there was some things left unsaid, you
Hmm.
know, when the characters left the original series.
Yeah.
And so they've been, again, trying to prepare for the show for a long time, and so are the fans. So we're to thank the fans, of course, the two of them to bring the show together because this is a long time coming. Because they're also getting to do stuff that they weren't able to do in the original run of the show.
Yeah. Obviously, the obvious. They're saying, you know, language in there. Obviously. A
The love scenes are a bit more steamier, you know.
little bit. Yeah.
Again, this is streaming; you can get away with it.
Yeah. Absolutely. But the stuff they do on screen on this show where they couldn't really do on NCIS, like how
Yeah,
far they can go on the show.
yeah,
On CBS, they couldn't really get away with that they do now on Paramount. Um, but it was interesting that it was funny, but it was kind of terrifying also that the actress that plays Ziva, Cote de Pablo, there was a scene that she mentioned where she was
oh
fighting
yeah,
actresses, um, who plays
yeah,
Martine on the show, who's also a great villain, by the way.
yeah,
Um, she's great. Um, but there's actually this fight scene in the last episode that aired, not the one that aired today, the one last week.
yeah,
Um, there's actually a fight scene between Ziva and Martine that there's a scene where Martine actually tries to take off Ziva's jacket
yeah,
and she actually her shoulder gets injured. So,
yeah. She popped her shoulder,
yeah.
and obviously, the other actress was completely horrified. She's like,
Mhm.
"Oh my god! Oh
Yeah.
my god! What happened? What did I do? What did I do?" Uh, and she pulled our Ziva pulls with the punches.
Hmm. Yep.
Obviously, it was very painful because again, popping the shoulder out.
Well, of course. Yeah.
But it just shows how committed she is to
Hmm.
doing the best work that she can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hope this comes back for season two because I think there's definitely more stories with them to tell.
Yeah. I mean, even in the panel, you saw how many fans there were. It was so many fans in that panel. You wouldn't expect that many fans. Like,
They gave us hats.
yeah, they
It
did.
said Tiva forever
Yes,
on it. I have yet to wear mine, but I still love that.
I wore mine in the panel. So,
Yeah. We actually dragged our friend Feller into the panel because he'd never seen any of the series. He's
yeah,
like, I'm not gonna see it. I'm kind of on the fence. And we both like, come on, come on, just come in,
just
or just
just
come in.
yeah, just come and just enjoy it and just see what you think. All right.
He got hooked on it very
He did.
fast.
He did.
He, yeah, so he's gonna watch the beginning of this series, uh, just to catch up. He's not gonna watch the original series because that's many seasons,
Hmm.
multiple seasons.
Yeah.
But this one he's gonna definitely rewatch because the first episode they do a pretty good recap, of who and Tony Siva are
Hmm.
in this universe. So yeah, that was that panel. Then we went into the Star Trek panel. There's a couple of things that happened in there. Obviously, they announced season four Star Trek: Strange New Worlds. For those of you who don't know what that's about, this is about the captain of the Enterprise, Christopher Pike's tenure on commanding the Enterprise before James T. Kirk ever comes on the ship. So this takes place 10 years in that. So this is year four, at least, or is the time jump? I'm not sure. But this is season four, and we did see a snippet of the first episode, and I was completely blown away. And of course, we had the cast there that was very nice, talking about what they're hoping for going to season four. And they had just, paused production on season five, which is still on production now, because after season five, it's going to end.
Yep.
And we're going to see possibly Pike, succumb to what happens to him in the original series, and then Kirk comes on the Enterprise. Whether that will lead into a Star Trek Year One series, we can only hope, because I think it will be interesting to see how Kirk actually functions as the captain of the Enterprise for that first year. And then we could actually transition to the original series, and then that's it. You don't need to go any further than that because we've already gotten through the 3 seasons of the original series and the 6 films. We don't need to cap that again. So let's just see what happens because you could split it year one into multiple parts or multiple seasons. So, but it was the second show that they announced, which really floored us. It was Star Trek Starfleet Academy. Now we had a couple of heavy hitters in the cast in there, including Holly Hunter, who is the administrator and the captain of the ship. And get this, the Academy is actually a starship. Swear to God, swear to God. Which means students can actually get, field trips to actually, do field tests so they become Starfleet officers. And Holly Hunter is the captain. How cool is that? She's one of the best actresses of her generation. But what's even better, Paul Giamatti. He
hmm
gets to be a Star Trek villain.
Yep, that's cool.
Yeah. And these two loved the franchise. They wanted to be part of Star Trek for years. And we were completely blown away by the trailer for that one. Because it's a different take on the characters, it's on the universe. Because this takes place many, many years in the Federation where it's, crumbled and they're just reopening Starfleet Academy.
Yeah.
So this takes place after Star Trek Discovery. So if you guys haven't watched that, go watch it now. Yeah, but we were totally blown away. And the what's always great about these panels is the energy of the audience.
Yeah.
What was even better was we actually had Sigourney Weaver at the convention as well, and she did drop a hint at a possible alien, appearance in a later movie.
Yeah, she said she was sent a script for a sequel and she really loved it. Um so there's a possibility that she could come back for another Alien movie.
Personally, I'd be excited about that, but you have to say, okay, where is it set in the timeline? Are we completely ignoring Alien 3 and Alien Resurrection? Because there was a script that they did have with those ideas in mind.
Yeah.
So it would take place years after Aliens, and something went wrong in a cryosleep situation, so it actually aged her, which I
Yeah.
thought would made beautiful sense. But I don't know what happened with that script. I know the director of District 9 wrote it, was hoping to direct it,
hmm
but it never came to fruition. So I don't know if they're resurrecting that idea, but the idea of her coming back in Alien is exciting, considering also she is in fact in Mandalorian and Grogu movie as a
Which I'm
little
very excited
child.
about.
Yeah, and that's coming out I think next year, isn't it?
May, I think.
Okay, May. Yeah, so I'm very excited about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they also announced. I forgot to mention this in the Marvel panel. They announced X Men '97 season 2.
Yeah.
The animation looks spectacular. We didn't get too much of the details of what happens there, but you have both parts of the X Men team in different points of time. Some are in the past, some in the future. But how do they get home? Time will tell.
Yeah, and I told you as we were leaving, I think that day that the original X-Men writers were coming back for season 2.
Yeah, and that's very exciting because, um, yeah, these were the guys with the original showrunners, and I can't wait to see what they're going to come up with for the season. We're getting the hints of Apocalypse coming in as a villain, which is always a great idea, great villain. So I just can't wait to see what that's. I'm just excited, because
Hey,
this is
you
what
should be.
released. Yeah, this wasn't a series I grew up with. But here's the thing, though: the fact that we have part of our teams in different timelines, who's going to protect the Earth? Who's going to protect the Earth? And I always had the idea. I always, said this was a good idea. What if this event, or what happened at the end of season one finale, was what formed the Avengers of this reality?
True.
But we'll see.
That's very true. Yeah, there was one that caught me by, well, I mean, not a little by surprise, but still kind of a little confused on how this person is coming back. Also, sticking with the Marvel panel, they did announce Vision, the show Vision Quest,
Mhm.
with Paul Bettany coming back as Vision. That's not the surprising part. We all knew Paul Bettany was
Yeah,
coming
we do it.
back.
Yeah,
But the surprising part was James Spader is actually coming back to the show as actually, I'm sorry, coming back to Marvel as Ultron. Um, and
yeah,
as all of you remember, um, James Spader was in Avengers: Age of Ultron, and you know, our Vision um, destroyed him at the end of the movie. So we don't know
yeah.
if this is going to be like the present or this is actually going to be like in the past, where we don't know how James Spader is going to come back in this show.
I think it's a great idea because I always like James Spader as an actor. I thought he was fantastic as Ultron. You know, I know some people had problems with the movie, but I was like, it's a fine movie. It's a good
Hmm.
movie.
Yeah,
Is it the best? Probably not. I would say
probably.
the first. I probably would say the first one's definitely the best.
Hmm.
Then there's Infinity War, and then Endgame.
Yeah, I agree.
But again, it's exciting.
No, I mean, I'm very interested to see how they will do it. You know, when um when it will be, but they said this will conclude the trilogy of WandaVision and then Agatha All Along, which I'm not
Yeah.
sure if you watched Agatha All Along, but
No, I didn't. I missed that one.
mhm.
I'll probably will watch it. Because I
Yeah,
think the lead actress is phenomenal as well in that. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see the conclusion of this particular story.
yeah. Um, Now they did have one more thing on the Marvel panel. They did come out with the trailer of Marvel's Wonder Man. I showed you the trailer when it released.
Yeah.
What you think of it? Because I saw you didn't really have the best reaction. You didn't think it was going to be what you thought it would be.
Well, that's the thing. I'm always surprised by Marvel, and this is a good surprise. But the idea, that you're having an actor, trying out for a movie is, well, it's definitely bringing the fourth world, kind of, because,
Yeah,
again, this is what usually happens. But especially in a universe where superheroes actually exist. So this is a very interesting concept, and I am interested in the show and see where this goes.
yeah, absolutely. Same here.
And it's always nice to see Ben Kingsley, isn't it? Especially playing Trevor. You know, the guy, from Iron Man 3 who acted like the Mandarin but really wasn't.
Yeah, he's back.
Yep. Giving acting coaching lessons to
Yep.
lead characters. So that's interesting.
Yeah,
And this actually one line in the trailer is like, where are we going from? Oh, he used to be a terrorist.
classic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was pretty much our experience at New York Comic Con.
Well, there was a lot. One more thing is you have to go. The cosplay is always impress us.
Oh,
The costumes
fantastic.
that they make. Um,
There was this guy dressed as Galactus, man. We
yeah,
all took pictures of it. And I was like, oh my God.
yeah. There was Galactus. There was you always see a lot of Jokers. Always see a lot of Deadpool's. Superman, Batman, Harley Quinn. Not a lot of Harleys that I saw though.
No, I was really disappointed. I was like, wow, what's Harley?
Yeah. Um, but yeah, Galactus I think was my favorite cosplay costume that I saw that whole weekend because that was just
Yeah,
absolutely amazing.
absolutely. I was completely blown away.
Mm-hmm.
It was a great experience. It always is a great experience.
Yeah.
Before we do end tonight, I did like to bring up a point. I'm not sure if you guys are Splinter Cell fans. If there's any out there, they actually did release yesterday or 2 days ago, I think. Splinter Cell Death Watch. It's the anime series, which actually takes place a couple years after the video games.
Mm-hmm.
And I've watched the first two episodes. I was very impressed with the writing and the action and the animation and the voice acting. And it's actually been guaranteed for a season two. So I'm ready for more adventures with Sam Fisher.
Yeah. I'm excited to watch it. I played the Splinter Cell games, years ago. They were fun. They were one of my favorite games to play with. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to watching the series and how it transpires. Interesting choice to have Lee Schreiber as Sam.
Yeah, especially since it was voiced for a number of years by Michael Ironside. You
Hmm.
think they would get him back,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure. So I'm guessing they just want to go in a different direction. But he does a pretty solid job.
Hmm.
He still has that same type of timbre as Michael Ironside has in his voice.
Hmm.
Uh, the person that plays Grim, she's phenomenal, and I think it's definitely surprising people because it's currently close to number one on the top 10 list on
Hmm.
Netflix. I'm pretty sure when Stranger Things comes on, they'll knock it off. But still, I was impressed with this.
Yeah. No. Hopefully, I'll get to watch it this weekend, and we'll be able to at least bring it up and talk about the show next episode. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Um, if not, a couple episodes from now. But excited to see that. Um, Another thing before we end tonight, just I won't go too much into it. Just a little sports news that's been going on. Playoffs are starting now for baseball. Um, Unfortunately, the Yankees were out of it early. Um, you know, all Yankee fans out there were still grieving over it, but you know, not what we would hope for this season. Yankees had a great team. So did the Mets. The Mets, unfortunately, didn't make the playoffs, but hopefully, hopefully, you'll get back next year. Spend the offseason during the winter and get players. You were going to say something.
yeah. He was grieving it with our other two friends at Comic Con. They were just mourning, kind of in not in silence, but they were mourning,
Not in,
discussing it. Because our friends Joe and Alexa had been on the show once during
mm-hmm,
our Matthew Perry tribute,
mm-hmm,
and she's a big Mets fan.
mm-hmm.
We just love her and all that. But she was definitely mourning. She asked him how he felt about the Yankees, and it just turned into a very big discussion.
Yeah. I won't go really
Yeah,
into what I said, but
yeah,
um, it was not great the way they exited early from the playoffs. But as the winter goes on, as the offseason goes on, in our episodes, I'll talk a little bit about what the Yankees and Mets should do. You know, go over, you know, some things, um, players and stuff and what's been going on. But as of now, the baseball playoffs are still going on, so we'll just leave that alone for right now until playoffs are done,
yeah.
and then we'll go further into it. Um, you know, NFL season. Giants aren't too much better, but they're getting there with their quarterback of Jackson Dart. He's looking really, really good, and their running back that they got in the draft also, Cam Scatterbo. He's looking really good as well. So I'm looking for all you Giants fans out there. Looking forward to the future with these guys. So yeah, Jets fans, not they're 0-6 right now. I mean, they're also not having a great year. So
it is very much the start of the season, so the only thing I can say is let's move forward.
yeah, just move forward. I mean, Jets are 0-6. I mean, it's tough, but I know they'll bounce back. Hopefully this weekend start off with a win for both teams, Jets and Giants. So keep you updated on the football season as well. So
absolutely. Well, I think that's going to be it for us tonight. I'm Ian Miller.
I'm Andrew Smith.
And this has been Media Talk with Mo and Smith. Have a good night, folks.
Night, guys.
If you'd like to follow us on YouTube, just hit that like button and subscribe.